Hey there, traders and investors. It's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth for a daily market recap. Today's a recap for Monday, April 26th. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing, as the topic of the day, Tesla's numbers. So this just hit the press. So we had a earnings beat. So we had revenue of 10.39 billion versus 10.29 billion expected, and earnings of 93 cents per share versus 79 cents per share expected. I did take a look at investing.com. They were expecting 10.42 billion. So by those numbers, they actually missed, but they're saying here that it was 10.29 revised. So we'll consider that a beat. So congrats to the bulls. There was some volatility here after hours, and that was after a record number of deliveries for the quarter as well. We will look at some news and events on the day. So before we do, make sure to smash like and subscribe to the channel. So Biden's 100-day stock market performance is the hottest going back to the 1950s. And 75% of stock owners won't be subject to Biden's proposed capital gains tax hike. And here's why. So 3 out of 4 U.S. stock investors would not be subject to the increase of tax in capital gains tax because of the 401k plans and individual retirement accounts and other types of accounts not subject to the tax. Also, Bill Gates came out and said that he is still hopeful that the world will be back to normal by the end of 2022. When I first read that, I thought it was 2021 and got a little excited, but that's not what most people want to hear. But unfortunately, that may be the reality of things. Big tech earnings this week, and that's going to be the spotlight for the most part. So we have Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, and Google coming up as well. So now that we have Tesla earnings out of the way, we'll look at the Tesla chart here in just a second. But I'll put some timestamps in the description below, and I'm going to do the MJ video all in one video today, as I have an appointment to run to later on. So the economic recovery in the spotlight as Fed prepares to meet. So they will be giving the new policy update. That will be for April, and that'll be on Tuesday and Wednesday. So tomorrow and Wednesday this week. I'm not expected to take any action at the moment, but it could be just focused again on inflation running hot. So Biden to detail his American families' planned tax increases, and also the U.S. lifts the pause on the J&J shots and clearing states to go ahead and use it. And India reports record cases for the 5th straight day, reported 352,000 cases. Wow. So 10-year Treasury yield rises to 1.6% to start the week, and we'll keep an eye on that heading into the Fed meeting here tomorrow and Wednesday. Also, the EU launches legal action against AstraZeneca due to the shot shortages. And speaking of the EU, they may allow people who have received the shot in the US to visit this summer. So we'll keep a close eye on that. Also, Bitcoin and the crypto space rebounded very nicely after Bitcoin hit daily oversold, lost 50,000 for the first time in a very long time. And we hit daily oversold for the first time since $10,000 and back in the summertime. Also, Solana prices surge amid crypto crash as market seeks lower gas fees. We also saw today that Binance is going to be supporting Microsoft and Apple and MicroStrategy by listing them as tokenized stocks. MicroStrategy begins on Monday. Apple will be available on April 28th. Tokenized shares of Microsoft will come online April 30th. And tokens will be only available for trading during traditional exchange hours and are not available for residents in mainland China, Turkey, the US, and other restricted jurisdictions as determined by CME Equity. So that would be the US and Canada. Because of that extra regulatory oversight, it's just not going to be allowed with the regulators. So advocates float new strategy to pass MJ legalization in Senate with Democratic support in question. So even with the chamber being in, the Democrats being in majority, it's still going to face heavy opposition. And recognizing the potential challenges of mustering 60 votes to overcome the legislation on the floor, advocates are urging leadership to pursue the policy change through a process known as budget reconciliation that would require a simple majority of 51 votes for a broader must-pass package. So we'll keep an eye on that to see if there's any new rhetoric or strategy changes leading into the Senate. And also Pennsylvania MJ poll shows highest ever support for legalization. So new poll results of Pennsylvania show that nearly 6 in 10, 58% adult residents support the complete legalization of MJ in the Commonwealth. Also, Canadian MJ edible sales top 100 million for the first year ever. Also, Canada's unsold MJ inventory levels off at 1.1 billion grams. So moving on to some charting, taking a look at the crypto space. As you can see, we have rebounded quite nicely, and Bitcoin from its lows on daily oversold, we're up 15%. Ethereum up over 16%. Litecoin seeing about an 18% move, and XRP was the winner, seeing a 43% move off the lows. And here's the kicker: while in the midst of an SEC lawsuit, we see Ripple, who's hated by many and loved by many, not too many people in between. And here you can see getting about a over double of the average move of the top cryptos. So congrats to the dip buyers there. So we'll take a look at the XRP chart. So we knew to be watching line of resistance here, and we closed above it. Well, we're looking to close above it here, and it's looking good. If we can close above that line of resistance, that is going to be huge. And we have a lack of resistance all the way up until $1.96. And just bringing up the Bitcoin chart. So you can see here, we had a lower high every candle for the last 11 days in a row. And we knew to be watching out for a bounce, and we hit daily oversold. We even had a wick here, so that was very, very oversold. And here we are bouncing back, breaking the high of the previous daily candle. Even if you just entered on the high of the previous daily candle break, you would have seen about a 7% move. But congrats to those who were aggressive and bought that daily oversold dip. Like I said, first time that's been daily oversold since all the way back at $10,000 and in the summertime. Potentially topping out at EMA 12 here, and we will just anticipate a lower high as the most likely result. And at this point, we also need to be cautious. It could still be a potential daily bear flag. The most likely scenario is just a daily lower high. So moving over to SPY. SPY is showing a little bit of weakness here after hours, and we had some volatility there leading into the end of the day. And we had a little cup and handle here with the after hours market on. And we came up, we actually hit 418.25 and then 418.22, essentially double topped at the all-time high, and then saw a quick but a 0.25% pullback. And like I said, volatility picking up there into the end of the day. A bit of a doji there, indecision on the daily. And we haven't seen any real weekly consolidation since all the way down at 383. But bulls are in full control, still riding the weekly uptrend as the most important factor. So moving on to the dollar. The dollar is still weak, seeing a new lower low today. And we're coming up on weekly support at 89.68. We will anticipate a bounce at some point soon, as we are getting pretty extended here, close to daily oversold as well. And again, we will just anticipate a weekly higher low compared to 89.68. We're still in a weekly uptrend. So we should expect a bounce at some point, and that may hurt the short-term strength and momentum in the overall stock market. So IWM saw a nice day today, up over 1%, continuing its daily bounce. And this is all off the lows here at 215. QQQ tech sector, so big tech earnings this week, and we are approaching all-time highs at 342.23. So we'll see what Tesla can do for the Qs here after hours. SMH up over 1.5% today. TAN, the solar sector, up over 1%. Oil was weak today, but managed to close the day with a lower wick and avoided that daily bear flag. Taking a look at the metals, daily consolidation underway, but still in daily uptrends, just looking for daily higher lows and trying to form a base of support there off the EMA 12. Biotech sector had a nice strong day today, up over 3%, almost 3.5%, and we could be seeing an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross on the daily. The energy sector topping out at EMA 12. The financial sector hitting a new all-time high today, but pulling back. So we'll watch for potential daily consolidation into tomorrow. XLV, the healthcare sector, had a daily inside bar on watch, so we'll be watching this tightening range going into tomorrow, but still has yet to start daily consolidation from all the way back at the 7th of April. So we're looking at 12 trading days in a row now without a higher low. So when we do pull back, when we lose the low of the previous daily candle, daily consolidation will be underway, and we can pull back from these levels about 5% and still have lots of room to form a higher low. So moving on to Tesla. Tesla saw some volatility here after hours. We were down and we were back up again near the high of pre-market. And here we are back down to the lower of after hours, losing the low of pre-market as well, hitting 5-minute oversold. So seems to be a little bit of a sell the news, but we'll want to see how we open up tomorrow. And on the daily time frame, we had this daily bull flag that confirmed, and here we are just in this type of equilibrium now with the low, high, higher low, lower high, and potentially another higher low forming into tomorrow. So we've got another weekly inside bar on watch, so tightening up. We have support at 691.80 and resistance at 753.77. We're back above the 10-week moving average at 678.69. The MACD is looking to curl here, so we'll want to end the week with that black line crossing bullish through the red line. And taking a look at the weekly moving averages, we're still well above the 50 weekly moving average down at 509. And on the daily time frame, we held the 50-day moving average. Now we're holding the 100, and we want to hold at least the 694 at a bare minimum here into tomorrow and the rest of the week. If we do see a type of sell the news reaction, we'll want to at least hold 694, as if we were to lose that, the 200-day moving average all the way down at 559. We did hold the weekly VWAP as well, and now finding a little bit of support here off the 20 weekly moving average. So taking a look at some other tickers on the day, we had CWEB, MVMD, and COS leading the decline. On the bull list, we had VEGA, AMC, and DFLY. Moving on to the MJ space. So taking a look at the Canadian MJ space, we had RIV, XLY, and PCLO leading the decline. On the bull list, we had High Tide, Zenabis, and Hexo. Hexo had a nice day today. I called out this equilibrium here, these white lines that I have. We had the low, high, lower high, higher low, lower high, higher low, and then a bull break. And then we had our 5-minute rising wedge as well that broke bearish. We came down, we had a double top at 590. We came down, had a double bottom at 584, and then 592. We had a double top there, 591, but 584 held, and then ultimately closed at the high of the day on some notable bull volume there into the end of the day. But taking a look at the daily time frame, so we did close above EMA 12 for the first time since we were back here at 850, which was the earnings reaction after they announced they were EBITDA positive. So for the last 25 trading days, we had been rejecting at EMA 12, and here we are getting above it for the first time in a very long time. And we have EMA 26 coming up here at 613. CGC wasn't able to close above its EMA 12, APHA a little bit stronger than the rest as well, closing above its EMA 12, ACB even closing above EMA 12, Cron right on it, Tilray right on it as well, SNDL rejecting, so some clearly standing out as weaker. And MSOS rejecting at its EMA 12 on the daily as well. Taking a look at the bull and bear list on the US side, we had Acreage, CWEB, and BAM. And on the bull list, we had TAT, BioHarvest, and MMEN. Some rumors floating around that TAT may be uplisting to the NASDAQ. I haven't seen anything official for that yet, but we'll keep an eye on that. And speaking of uplisting to the NASDAQ, MindMed's seeing another 30% plus day today. And we had these double daily inside bars that broke bullish, and I entered on a daily oversold. I was going to scale in multiple orders, but I was happy with the entry that I had, and I actually sold that today. I didn't sell last week, but I sold it today. I was up over 125%. So I figured I better lock in those gains. And from the lows in 2 days, we're up over 130%. So congrats to the bulls there. That was an absolute monster move. With that, going to end it there. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth for a daily market recap, and we shall see you tomorrow after market close. Take care, everybody.